Almost every billionaire knows these hidden secrets. That's the actual reason why they're in the top 0.001%. You're not poor because you're unlucky or dumb, but because you're completely unaware of these 10 cheat codes. I'm quite sure you'll at least become a millionaire within the next 3 years, even if you only use 4 or 5 of them. So, let's begin the video. Secret number 10. Copy, then dominate. The biggest lie they sell to ambitious people is this: you need a completely original idea to build something big. You don't. And the proof is sitting right in your pocket. Facebook wasn't the first social network. Zuckerberg looked at what MySpace had built and made it cleaner, faster, and better. Amazon wasn't the first bookstore. Bezos took what Barnes & Noble created and scaled it to a completely different level. Microsoft didn't invent the operating system. Gates licensed code that already existed and packaged it brilliantly. None of them started from zero. Every single one started from something that was already working. And honestly, that's the smarter play. When someone else has already done the risky work of proving people want, of finding the customers and testing what works, they've eliminated the most dangerous part of the journey for you. Your job is to walk in, spot what's missing, and do it better. Better experience, faster delivery, cleaner design, bigger scale. Originality is overrated. Execution is everything. So, instead of spending years hunting for an idea nobody's ever had, look around at what's already working. Where do people already spend money? Then, ask yourself one simple question: how could I do that better? That question alone is worth more than 1,000 original ideas. Secret number 9. Sell emotions. Think about the last time you bought something you didn't really need. Maybe something you saw online or spotted in a store. Now be honest. Why did you actually buy it? It wasn't the product. It was the feeling. This is one of the biggest money secrets hiding in plain sight. People don't buy things. They buy feelings, identity, and the version of themselves they want to become. Nobody buys a gym membership for the treadmills. They buy the body they imagine having. Nobody buys expensive cologne because it smells nice. They buy the confidence it gives them. Nobody buys a Ferrari for the horsepower. They buy what owning one says about who they are. Billionaires figured this out a long time ago. They don't sell products. They sell transformation. Pain and desire. Those two forces are where trillion-dollar markets live. Weight loss, status, confidence, belonging. Every massive industry in the world is really just a solution to a deep human emotion. So, if you want to build something that makes real money, stop thinking about what you're selling. Start asking, what does my customer feel right now, and what do they desperately want to feel instead? Answer that honestly, and you'll never struggle to sell. Secret number 8. Manufacture your luck. Every time you see someone get lucky, I know exactly what goes through your head. Must be nice. Some people just have it handed to them. But here's the thing. That whole idea is the first thing keeping you broke. Luck is not random. Billionaires manufacture it. Think about fishing. Throw your line into an empty pond and you can sit there all day catching nothing. But jump into a lake packed with fish, and suddenly everyone thinks you're the greatest fisherman alive. Those fish didn't arrive by fate. You just positioned yourself where they had to show up. That's what billionaires actually do. Warren Buffett calls it swimming where the fish are. They move into industries already growing fast, surround themselves with sharper and more connected people, and make so many calculated bets that winning eventually stops being a question of if, just when. What you see from the outside and call luck, they see from the inside and call it math. So ask yourself, what pond are you fishing in right now? Because that answer matters more than your talent, your effort, and almost everything else combined. Secret number 7. Arbitrage the gap. The most profitable opportunities in the world usually look completely worthless at first glance. That's the paradox, and that's exactly why most people walk right past them. Every billionaire fortune was built on one skill: spotting a gap between what something costs and what it's actually worth, and then moving before the rest of the world figured it out. Think of it like this. Imagine walking through a garage sale and spotting a painting priced at $5. Just know, it's worth $5,000. So you pick it up quietly before anyone else realizes what's sitting there. That gap between cost and real value is exactly where wealth gets built. Billionaires just do this on a much bigger scale. Billionaires buy companies priced low that are actually incredibly strong underneath. Real estate investors find rundown properties in solid neighborhoods. Buy cheap, improve, and watch the value climb. Tech founders spot problems millions of people have, but nobody's charged for a solution yet. The formula never changes. Find where real value is higher than what people are currently paying. Move before the market catches up. That's the whole game. Secret 6. Compound the invisible. Stop for a second, because what I'm about to say sounds simple, but most people miss the most powerful version of it their entire lives. Everyone knows compound interest, money growing on itself over time. Most people nod, say sure, and move on. But billionaires compound 4 invisible things that have nothing to do with a bank account: reputation, relationships, knowledge, and trust. And honestly, these 4 are more powerful than money. Think of a snowball rolling downhill. Starts tiny. Each rotation picks up a little more, faster, bigger, unstoppable. That's exactly what these 4 things do. Quietly, invisibly, over years. Each relationship you build opens the door to the next one. Every book you read stacks on the knowledge before it. And keeping your word? That's how trust compounds. Warren Buffett didn't become who he is just by picking good stocks. He spent 80 years compounding his credibility. That's why people hand him billions with almost no questions asked. The best part? You can start building all 4 today. Not when you have more money or some perfect plan. Right now, just by showing up, keeping your word, learning something new, and treating every relationship like it actually matters. Secret 5. Work on it. Imagine you've been working 12-hour days, answering every email, serving every customer, solving every problem yourself. And at the end of the year, you look around and realize nothing has actually grown. You're exhausted. Everything still depends on you walking through that door. Sound familiar? Here's the hard truth. If your business stops the moment you stop, you don't own a business. You own a job with extra steps. 99% of business owners live inside their work, doing everything themselves. Billionaires build the machine from the outside. They design systems, hire the right people, and create something that runs whether they're in the room or not. Think about the difference between being the chef and owning the restaurant. The chef is essential. Nothing works without them physically there every single day. Meanwhile, the restaurant owner built the kitchen, trained the team, and designed a system so the food comes out great even when they're at home. That's the shift you need to make. Not working harder, working differently. Stop asking, how do I get this done today? Start asking, how do I build something that handles this without me? That one question is the difference between being permanently busy and actually building wealth. Secret 4. Use leverage powerfully. What if the biggest lie about success is that you just need to work harder? Here's what nobody teaches. You don't need more hours. What you actually need is leverage. Think of a lever. A stick placed under a heavy rock at just the right angle can move 10 times the weight you could never lift alone. That's what leverage does with wealth. It multiplies your effort far beyond what's possible by yourself. And there are 4 types that actually matter: money, people, code, and media. Most people only use one: their own labor. Show up, work, get paid, go home. Repeat forever. There's a hard ceiling on that life, because you only have 24 hours in a day. Leverage breaks that ceiling. Money you've invested works while you sleep. A team multiplies what you can do in a single day. Software or a good system serves thousands at once. Content you create once reaches new people for years. You don't need all 4 right now. Start with 1. What's something in your life where you're doing all the heavy lifting that you could hand off, automate, or scale? That's your first lever. Pull it. Secret 3. Borrow to own. Here's something nobody ever warned you about. The way you were taught to think about debt is quietly costing you wealth you don't even know you're missing. Most people hear debt and immediately think dangerous, avoid it. The middle class borrows for things that lose value: cars, vacations, the newest phone. They pay interest every month on stuff that's worth less and less over time. Billionaires borrow for something completely different. They borrow to buy assets, things that put more money in their pocket than the loan costs them. Think about a real estate developer. They take out a bank loan, buy a building, rent it out, and the rent covers the monthly payments, with money left over. They built wealth using the bank's money, not their own savings. Elon Musk didn't sell his Tesla shares to buy Twitter. He pledged them as a guarantee and borrowed billions. The bank's money bought the company. His shares stayed in his hands the whole time. The question is never just, is this debt? The real question is, does this debt put money into my pocket or take it out? Secret 2. Think in decades. Here's what almost everyone who stays broke has in common. And it's not laziness. It's not bad luck. It's that they're thinking too short. Wall Street thinks in quarters. The middle class thinks month to month. Billionaires think in decades. And that single difference eliminates 90% of the competition automatically. Most of your competitors disappear just because they can't wait. Jeff Bezos built Amazon around one question: what won't change in 10 years? He figured people will always want things fast, cheap, and convenient. So he spent years building the machine to deliver exactly that. Short-term results didn't matter to him. Long-term dominance was the only game he was playing. Buffett held some of his investments literally forever, not because he had no other options, because he understood that patience is a competitive advantage, and almost nobody was patient enough to match him on that level. Here's the thing about short-term thinking. It feels smart and practical, but it puts you in the most crowded lane there is. The moment you start thinking 5, 10, 20 years ahead, almost nobody is competing with you anymore. Secret 1. Information is edge. In every market, every negotiation, every game, the person who knows more wins. Not sometimes, every single time. This isn't a motivational saying. It's how wealth has always been built. Warren Buffett spends 5 to 6 hours every single day reading, not scrolling, not watching clips, reading deeply, company reports, shareholder letters, books. That's basically his actual job. Not because he has nothing better to do, but because maintaining a better understanding of the world than everyone else in the market is exactly what keeps him ahead. Think about what that means for you. You don't need classified information or insider secrets. You just need to understand your field better than the people around you. Read more than your competitors. Study what most people skip over. Pay close attention to what everyone else treats as boring. In a world where most people skim a headline and call themselves informed, the person who actually goes deep has a quiet, enormous advantage. Knowledge isn't just power, it's profit.